In the ancient Persian Empire, at the height of its power, King Xerxes threw a feast so lavish it lasted 180 days. Drunk on wine and his own ego, he summoned his wife, Queen Vashti, to parade her beauty before his guests. But Vashti refused. Her defiance shattered the king's pride and shook the foundations of the court. Fearing that her example would inspire women across the kingdom to disobey their husbands, the king's advisors urged him to act. Vashti was banished, and a decree went out: a new queen must be found. The search began, and young women from every province were brought to the palace. Among them was a Jewish orphan named Esther, raised by her wise cousin Mordecai. She was beautiful, yes, but her true radiance came from her grace and quiet strength. As she was taken into the king's harem, Mordecai gave her a critical instruction: do not reveal your family or your people. For a full year, Esther underwent preparations, and when she was finally brought before King Xerxes, he was completely captivated. He chose her above all others, and the royal crown was placed on her head. An orphan girl, a hidden Jew, was now the queen of Persia. Meanwhile, at the palace gate, Mordecai sat faithfully. One day, he overheard two of the king's guards plotting to assassinate him. Mordecai immediately sent a message to Esther, who warned the king. The plot was foiled, the guards were executed, and the entire event was recorded in the royal chronicles. Mordecai had saved the king's life, but his heroic act went unnoticed and unrewarded. It was a detail that seemed insignificant at the time, but fate was quietly setting the stage. Soon after, a new man rose to power: Haman, a proud and arrogant official whom the king promoted to be his second in command. A decree was issued that everyone must bow down to Haman, but Mordecai, faithful to his God, refused. This one act of defiance was more than Haman's fragile ego could bear. When he discovered Mordecai was a Jew, his personal vendetta spiraled into a genocidal rage. He went to the king, lied about the Jewish people, and offered a fortune to have them all destroyed. He cast the lots, or pur, to select the date for the massacre. A royal decree was sent to every corner of the empire. On the 13th day of the 12th month, every Jewish man, woman, and child was to be annihilated. When Mordecai heard the news, he tore his clothes and wept bitterly in the city square. Word reached Queen Esther, who was insulated inside the palace walls, unaware of the impending doom. She sent a messenger to find out what was wrong. Mordecai's reply was a challenge that would echo through history: do not think that because you are in the king's house, you alone will escape. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this? The weight of her people's fate fell upon her shoulders. After a moment of terror, Esther found her resolve. She sent back her reply: go, gather all the Jews and fast for me. I and my attendants will fast as you do. Then I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. And if I perish, with nothing but her courage and her faith. Esther dressed in her most stunning royal robes and approached the king's inner court, an act punishable by death. He did not extend his golden scepter. The king saw her, his heart softened, and he held it out. What is it, Queen Esther? He asked. Even up to half the kingdom, it will be given to you. But Esther's strategy was just beginning. Instead of revealing her plea, she simply invited the king and Haman to a private banquet. Haman left the feast giddy with pride, but his joy vanished when he saw Mordecai still refusing to bow. That night, his wife gave him a wicked idea: build a gallows 75 feet high, and in the morning, ask the king to have Mordecai impaled on it. That same night, a strange thing happened. The king couldn't sleep. He called for the royal chronicles to be read aloud to him, and the servant just happened to read the entry about how Mordecai had saved his life from the assassins. What honor has been given to Mordecai for this? The king asked. Nothing has been done for him, the servant replied. At that exact moment, Haman entered the court, ready to ask for Mordecai's execution. Before he could speak, the king asked, what should be done for the man the king delights to honor? Haman, assuming the king meant him, described a lavish public parade. The king's next words hit him like a thunderbolt: go at once. Do all this from Mordecai the Jew. Humiliated, Haman was forced to lead his mortal enemy through the city streets in honor. The trap was now set. At Esther's second banquet, the king again asked for her request. This time, her voice trembling but firm, she spoke. If I have found favor with you, your majesty, grant me my life, this is my petition. And spare my people, this is my request. For I and my people have been sold to be destroyed. The king was stunned. Who is he? Where is the man who has dared to do such a thing? Esther raised her hand and pointed directly at the guest of honor. An adversary and an enemy, this vile Haman. Terror washed over Haman's face. The king stormed out in a rage, and when he returned, he found Haman falling on Esther's couch, begging for his life. It was the final straw. The king gave the order, and Haman was executed on the very gallows he had built for Mordecai. The immediate threat was gone, but the genocidal decree remained. Esther fell at the king's feet once more, weeping for him to reverse Haman's evil plan. The king gave his own signet ring to Mordecai, empowering him to write a new law. A second decree was sent across the empire, granting the Jews the right to assemble and defend themselves. On the day that was meant for their destruction, they rose up and defeated their enemies. The day of sorrow was transformed into a day of victory. To commemorate this incredible reversal of fortune, the festival of Purim was established, a celebration that continues to this day. Esther's story is a powerful reminder that one person's courage, guided by strategic wisdom and faith, can change the course of history and save a nation. Thanks for watching. If you were inspired by Esther's bravery, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of hidden heroes.